Good morning. Good morning, people. Look at this. Look at that view. Awesome. I need a picture of that joint. Hey, Tanya. Good morning. Look at that view. I got to figure out how to take pictures while I am on live. I have no idea. Actually, I don't even know what I can do on live outside of push live and push in. Yeah, that's a beautiful look. How you feeling this morning? Hey, Heather. Good morning, ladies. Glad you all can join me this morning. Tony. Hey, what's up, champ? Heather, I can't stay, but exciting news. Check out this article from Des Moines Register. Exclusive. Governor Kim Reynolds told proposed constitutional amendment lifting felon voting ban in condition of the state. Awesome. So, do we got to put the press on her to make sure she don't switch up? Hey, Cynthia, good morning. Well, I figured we talked about health. Yeah, because I remember they will switch up. So stay on top of them, Heather. And you know if y'all need me, y'all, you know we can make that thing work. So, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about health. You know, that's part of the reason I started walking. Cholesterol and high blood pressure, which I didn't understand. Big Mo, what's up, lover? Good morning to you, Cynthia. So we talked about health. That's why I started walking, making sure mine don't get out of control. Plus, I was shocked. I didn't think dude like me can run into issues like that. We talked about getting our mind right. We talked about improving or getting our business right. We talked about getting our writing on. So, all this week I've noticed like people experiencing death. Like one person, 2 people died in like 2 days. So my condolences goes out to all of those families. And then I seen like GoFundMes. A whole lot of GoFundMes in order to help bury people, loved ones. And for some reason that always seemed to rub me like the wrong way. So let me state off the top that I am not a financial investor. Well, I'm not certified to teach finance. Let's put it like that, right? But if I have known nothing in my entire life, I have known that I grew up poor. I've also recognized that my mother ain't had no money, and recognized that my father took a whole lot of risk to get money, and I eventually took risks to get money, and then I had to come back after incarceration, try to rebuild a life. And so when I see GoFundMes to bury people, loved ones, it just reminds me that how schools, at least the schools I've went to, don't teach you financial literacy. They don't teach you economic development. And if anybody knows me on here, you know that I am cheap, thrifty, with all them other names that people call it. Frugal. I'm all of those things when it comes to money. You remember those shoes when you was first born and your peoples get them laminated or painted gold or painted silver? I'm actually wearing mine right now. I got on a t-shirt from my second birthday in life. So I am real thrifty, frugal, or whatever you want to call it when it comes to finances. And I created this program called Bossing Up. And this is for like financial wellness. Again, that ain't what I do for a living, but I feel comfortable enough in the decisions that I made in investing in myself that I always want to share. And so I wanted to go back and talk about so this government shutdown also reminded me about our finances, because I know they're doing things like giving people like food at stores, or you come to this place and get a bag of food, because people are under hard times because they can't get paid for work. And so, why say, what's up, champ? And so because of this federal government shutdown, people are really struggling to feed themselves. And what kept coming to mind this morning when I'm hearing the news is that Rhea, hey love, is that I remember when I was coming up, people used to say, save something for rainy days. Oh yeah, food banks. So people are going to food banks. And so that just brought me back to like the horror of living like paycheck to paycheck. Now, what I know in the black communities, that we usually have side hustles, right? Somebody's usually doing hair. Somebody is usually cutting grass. Somebody's making dinners. I remember they had candy ladies when I was coming up. So people always try to create some kind of side income. But I also remember them saying, this was my fun money. This is the money I go out to the club with, go out to the casino with. And I never really heard like people talking about how do they grow that money. Tanya said yes. What's the yes about, Tanya? So people never was really talking about really growing that money, and they seen that money as under the table. And I remember like cousins that always had somebody in their house where they was doing their hair, and they never really like considered like to grow their business. I mean, that they was actually running a business. They just, I guess, figured that they were just doing hair. And because it was fun money, that they make it and they get rid of it. I mean, they spend it. They have not shut down the food distribution for the food banks here. No, I wasn't saying that they shut them down. I was saying that they opened them up. I mean, people that have been working 30 years, 10 years, 1 year, 6 months, and then the government shut down and they have to go to a food bank. And this is crazy. And I just know I've never learned. Hey Randy, Tanya said people always made money. You were saying, Tanya said my mom was a candy lady for years. Cynthia said okay. So my point is, how do we not be hit so hard? How do we grow our money for rainy days like this? Or even how do we grow our money that we have some financial independence and the job thing becomes a choice versus something that we need, and that an employer can say, we don't want you no more. And so I was like, and then I seen these GoFundMe to bury our loved ones, and it reminded me of the program that I developed, which is Bossing Up Your Financial Well-Being. And then Bossing Up, one of the things that I covered is life insurance. So I went to this seminar that Industrial Bank was doing, and it was on life insurance. And what I learned from this probably like 3 years ago is that other cultures, other races view, not that they view death different than us, but they view growing their money different than we do about growing our money. And so did you know that the average funeral cost to bury your loved one is like $10,000? And I don't know if y'all old enough to remember when like Jennifer Lopez had insured her butt, or was for like $1 million, and I think it was Mariah Carey that had put insurance on her, I think, voice for like $1 million or something. And we was like, dang, that's crazy. But it was, for them, it was playing in their head. Well, I don't know about Jennifer Lopez, but I know Mariah Carey, I think it was playing in their head just in case she lose her voice, because that was her main money maker. And then how would she be able to maintain? So, what I learned about life insurance, there's really like two main kinds: whole life and term life. And term life, because y'all remember like when this man used to come to y'all house like once a month, and your grandmother would sit down and talk to him and give him like a little money order. And we heard that it was life insurance, but we probably really didn't know what life insurance was. So it seemed like the older generation was really preparing for death, and that they didn't want to be left in no kind of hardship, where, because we didn't have access to the internet, so GoFundMe to help bury a loved one wouldn't have been an option. And so that just reminded me, like, seeing all of these GoFundMe to help bury your loved one, you got to do what you got to do, but I don't think we have been, or we are as prepared for the passing of our loved ones like other people are. And I don't think we see the benefits to life insurance. So my point really is, what I learned when I went to the seminar that Industrial Bank gave, and what really made me start digging into life insurance, because if the average funeral costs you like $10,000, and you get $100,000 policy, because this is what they said other cultures and other races do. They get a $100,000 policy to cover their loved ones. And if the unfortunate happened and the loved one dies, the funeral cost is covered, right? You don't have to be scrambling. You don't have to be pawning nothing. You don't have to be creating GoFundMe, because the family is taking care of that. So the thing is, you got this $100,000 policy. Then after the $10,000 is paid for the funeral and all of the things for the burial, then you have $90,000 that goes back into the family. And that $90,000, as we know, if you get $90,000 right now, it can have an amazingly great impact on your finances right now, and also probably into the future. Because with that $90,000, you could pay off your credit cards, right? You could pay for college. You could do so many things with $90,000. But I know when I talked to people before about life insurance, putting life insurance on their loved ones that they felt that they would have been profiting off of death. And that is not what I'm saying. But the one thing that I have learned is that people gonna die. Loved ones gonna die unexpectedly. Some of our loved ones, we know it's coming. They're not prepared. We're not prepared. And then we find ourselves in this financial burden because we didn't have life insurance, or we didn't have this overflow of money to pay for the unexpected death of somebody that we really that we really care about. And so that is one of the ways that I see, one, to make sure that my son is taken care of just in case something happens to me. So there's the whole life and the term life. The term life is usually, I think, what our grandmothers were paying on. Hey, Keisha. Term life, I believe, is what our grandmothers was paying on, meaning that it lasts a certain amount of time. I mean, you have to pay in it for a certain amount of time, and they pay it off once the person that's covered under the insurance passes on. But I don't know if grandma and them was just covering the funeral costs, or were they like the funeral costs and above. So, my apologies. How do we grow our money? Like, how do we protect our family? Because death is really a hardship on all of the family, especially the ones that the relative is the closest to. And you never really know when it's gonna happen. But it seems like a lot of us are really not prepared, not only emotionally, but financially. And I just felt the need to share with y'all the life insurance. Life insurance is not only to make sure that our family members receive the proper burial that they're looking for, but also that it also leaves a legacy for them. Get a $100,000 policy, they pass on, leave $90,000 to the family, and that $90,000 can go on and pay for somebody going to school or somebody else's medical conditions. I think it's a great thing. Wayuse said, and that money covers the debts of the person that passed, so the family doesn't incur those debts. Ain't that right, man? Lady died. So Wayuse said the money from the life insurance, say I have say if I have a house, right? And I owe like $50,000 on that house, and I pass, and I got this $100,000 or this $1 million policy up on my death. My family don't have to my debt. My debt doesn't become their debt because the life insurance pays it off. That's what you're saying, Wayusi? Cynthia said, remember growing up and my parents had insurance and burial plots paid for. I know, Cynthia, but it doesn't seem like that's what's happening now, because I see all of these GoFundMe. And so I don't think we have like secured our family in all ways. And a lot of this is because we are not being taught that stuff. We are not being taught how to really protect our family. We're not being taught how to protect and grow our money. Because I know usually when somebody talk about savings, they saying open a savings account and just put your money in a savings account. But for those of you that have savings account, you know it don't grow, it don't increase your money a whole lot. And so we gotta learn how to invest and teach our loved ones about money, and this will help us better position ourselves financially. And we got to look, I believe we have to look at the things that we see as casual stuff, like doing hair in the kitchen, designing shoes for people, not just as fun money, but as wealth building money. And look at this insurance as a protection of our family and sending our loved ones off in the best possible way. Lady Di said, hey Jen, hey love. Cynthia said, nowadays we mismanage money also. So Cynthia, how are we mismanaging money these days? So, because this platform is for us to help each other get better. Hey, Way. So tell us some more, Way, because the debt portion was great. And insurance, like, if you make it a part of your budget, and I know we already working on, we trying to maximize our little budgets now, but the rewards, like a whole life policy, you can, so say you got a child that is 6 years old, 10 years old, or what have you, and you paying into this life insurance, you can actually draw from the whole life policy to take the money out to pay for things like college. Don't take money out to pay for things like buy you a new car. Take it out for stuff that's gonna enhance and benefit your life, so you can withdraw money from the whole life policy and still have a policy, right? It's like you drawing from that and you paying back into it. And so when times are hard, then you have some leg room. If it's another government shutdown and it's going on month 3 and your mortgage and all that stuff is falling behind, you may be able to pull from a whole life policy. But more importantly, that if a loved one dies, their funeral stuff is taken care of, and there is additional income coming into the family that we can use to grow the family wealth. Way said, yes, we got to put money away like it's rent money. Lady Di says, some are not responsible to get paid and keep it up. They let the policy lapse. So one of the things I learned, Lady Di, I don't know if you was here, but I created this program called Bossing Up, Financial Wellness, right? And what I've experienced is that people don't know where they're spending their money, right? So if you buy $1 soda and $1 bag of chips every morning for work, right? You see it as insignificant. It ain't hurting nothing or nothing. But at the end of the month, in 30 days time, that's $60 that you don't even know where it went at, right? Because the potato chips and the soda is so inexpensive that you don't think that it has an impact on your finances. But if you're doing that every day, that is a huge bill at the end of the year. What's that, 60 times 12? Do the math. So I would do stuff like make my lunch, carry it out with me, or snacks or something. Like Melanie used to buy me snacks and stuff. And so if I get hungry, I could just nibble on that stuff, and that would just allow me to use my money in a wiser way. So Cynthia says, instead of saving up for things really needed, we tend to buy things that we actually do without. Yes. So can you give us an example on the things that we buy that we could do without? Lady Di said, I used to sell insurance for New York Life. So, Lady Di, what were some of the challenges? Why do you think some of the people neglected the policies and didn't keep them going? I just learned, again, that people don't know where their money going. And so one of the things that my program does is get it to focus on what are your real expenses, right? Like, where's your money going? And because if you really want life insurance, if you really want to be able to send your family member off the way that they would like, and you really want to grow your family's income, then I think the sacrifice of paying insurance every month, because like $100,000 policy may be like, well, I'm not even going to guess, but you can look into it and you just see how your budget can fit into it. Because the thing of the matter is, if you let your life insurance policy slip and they close it and you pass, do you have the money in your bank account to bury you? And look around at the family, not the family that's off living lives that you rarely ever in contact with, and you think they're going to come to your aid. You ain't even really been in contact with them. But look at the close-knit side of your family. Can they really take on the burden of burying you? So this isn't about, this is about how do you make sure if something happens to you that you're taken care of and you're able to leave something to your family. Irresponsible. So, okay, I guess some people are irresponsible, but I know some people are living, hand to foot, and so every dime that they get, they have to figure out how to stretch it. But the one thing that I know, when we want something, we figure out how to get it. And Lady Di, I have never been taught anything about money when I was going to school. I was never taught anything about money in my household, except for I can't buy that because we can't afford it. That's what I was taught about money in my household. Lady Di said choices, right? And I didn't really learn about money, which is crazy. Who taught me about money was drug dealers. That's who taught me about financial wealth, investments, and growing your income. It was the way that they taught me, or how they taught me, was wrong. But what they taught me about taking money and growing money was actually some of the best lessons that I've ever learned. It was just a negative way that it was taught to me. Cynthia said, like you were saying, the extra soda and snacks that we don't need, eating out a lot instead of just cooking the meal at home. Yes. Wade said, when I figured out the value of insurance, I started to use my tax returns to pay for a year of insurance. Huh, man? Lady Di said he worked 2 jobs for 40 years. Wow. Oh, so look, this is another thing that I learned about insurance. It was a group that was in there. Well, a lady and a husband that was in there, and they was talking about how the family comes together. And for the family members that's less fortunate, they all contribute like a few dollars a month to make sure that family member has a life insurance policy, right? So they band together and did like a pool to make sure everybody was covered. And then the insurance not only cover the burial, but it still also fed money back into the family. So Wade said, that was how I learned too. Right, Wade. That's them streets. We condemn them streets. But like my motto is now, I don't know if you ever seen my t-shirt. I got t-shirts out now that it's called Keep Your Hustle, but Change Your Product. And the hustle that I learned from them guys in the street, the product was a terrible and illegal product that eventually sent me to prison. But the lessons on business and on growing my money, I have never abandoned. I have never forgotten. Lady Di says cigarettes, big cars. Yup, the cars that depreciate as soon as we drive off the lot. And we pay insurance on the cars every month, $300, $100, $500 on car insurance, but we ain't got life insurance. What kind of math is that? When we pass, our people's gonna owe on that car and we can't even get buried. Lady Di said Dad never owned a car. He walked and rode the bus. Wade said, bruh, Collective economics is so important. Yeah, because I would have never even imagined that that to think to pool our money together to make sure our loved ones, our life insurance is covered. I think life insurance probably should be one of the mandatory lessons that we learn in school, and how to take our little side hustles and continue to grow them. Because I remember my aunt was selling like dinners on Saturdays and Sundays, I think it was, doing fish fry, selling out. But she was doing it like once in a while, or only on Sundays. Imagine if she had did that every day or every other day. I mean, that was a business. But when they say it as fun money, you don't respect fun money. You throw it away. Or that young girl that's right now in your house that's setting up because she got to do 2 of her girlfriends' hair today, where she making $60 to $200 a pop off of each head, and she done already showed you the bag or the dress or the pair of jeans that she gonna buy after she do that hair. I think we need to sit them down and have a conversation with them. You can treat yourself, but the money that you make, reinvest that back into yourself to grow what it is that you're doing. Cynthia said, my actually bought a couple of extra burial plots in case a family member needed help. That's what's up. And them burial plots, I don't even know how much them cost. I know nothing about that. Wade said, I knew hustlers that the streets thought were enemies, but were actually working together. Right. So Wade, one thing I could say about you, brother, you are definitely a true hustler, a mover and shaker. But that collective economics, I love that. Lady Di said, my dad did that too. What your dad do? Bought the extra plots, Lady Di? I'm trying to figure out what it was that he did. So my whole point of this morning was to get us thinking about he bought 6. So the plots can be in the ground or the wall thing. So again, my whole focus was us to start thinking about making sure our loved ones can be buried in the way that they wanted to be buried, but also how do we grow our money? And life insurance is definitely one of the ways we're able to take care of our family in death and in living, and build legacies for that loved one that died by having a policy on him, and he or she passes, and that money sends one of our kids to college. And we could say, your uncle, your aunt paid for this, right? And we usually say, man, I die for you, shorty died for that. That is really dying to improve somebody, building a legacy off of death, building family wealth, and it's not real. And don't look at it as profiting off of death, because death is going to happen. We're just trying to make sure that our loved ones go out the way that be buried the way that they want, and the family, they be able to contribute to the family upon death. It's really, in my opinion, it's really no difference than somebody leaving you an inheritance, because it actually is an inheritance in my belief. So Lady Di said, yep, and yes, 3 have been used. Wow. Wade say, yay, man. Miss Collins, how you doing? So, man, I appreciate y'all joining me, hanging out with me today, and talking about something that is so important to all of our communities. Making sure our loved ones are taken care of in death and in life. Investing, so we won't be scrambling to survive government shutdowns? How do we grow our money, save our money? And so today I just wanted to talk about life insurance. Now we might do something tomorrow on it, but no guarantee. But I appreciate you all for joining me. Shoot me some topics on stuff that you want to talk about. I'm with that. Right now I'm out Maryland way. Right now I'm out Maryland, but I'm about to, well, not right now, but I fly out to Florida. I'm doing a program in a juvenile facility out there. So, and I'm working on some other stuff. I rarely get to come your way, but I'm hoping that's going to change this year. I'm actually trying to get in Chicago. That's where one of the spots I want to be. Lady Di said he and mom at Quantico Burby for free 3 used for his children. Okay. Cynthia said 2 years ago I started my little cake business to help me out, not knowing that I would get sick and couldn't work. Right. Mike, what's happening? D, Lady Pasha, what's happening? So we was talking about, Ocala. I'm going to be in a little town called Ocala, Florida. I've been going out there off and on for like 3 months or so doing this program. And then I think I may be in Jacksonville, but I am not sure if that is secured. But I'll keep y'all posted. And I'll be in Ghana. I'll be in Ghana doing some work, some art stuff and some prison reform stuff in Ghana in March. So my people's out in Ghana, I'm going to need you to connect with me so you can show me how to move and shake out there. Oh, you in Fort Lauderdale, Cynthia? You know I have no clue how far away that is, but I'm sure it's probably far away. Melvin, good morning, brother. You still have to pay funeral home, repast, etc. Right. But the thing is, Lady Di, if we get life insurance, right? You know, if you were selling life insurance, so you know the benefits of life insurance. But if we get life insurance on our loved ones, that we can cover their burial. If you got $100,000, repast, funeral costs, all that is not going to eat up that $100,000. You're going to be able to bury your loved one in a way that is conducive to them or to you, and still have some money that goes into the family to build the family's finances. Ski Wee, hey love. Cynthia, yes, it's a little far. I know, because I flew into Jacksonville airport the last time, and I thought that was the longest drive in history. Sylvia, Lady Di said true. Renardo, what's happening, champ? So, again, we was talking about growing our money. We was talking about all of these GoFundMe pages that I was seeing to bury our loved ones, and how insurance can help us bury our loved ones and build our financial wealth, bringing money back into our family that can pay for college, that can cover the debts of our loved ones. So again, Ronaldo said, hello, good brother. Hey. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I do this at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock every morning, except for if I have something to do. So I appreciate you joining me. One, give me some stuff that you want to talk about so we can talk about it. Share this. Make comments. Tell people to join us. This is for us. This is a platform for us to get together to build. And the show is called Walk and Talk with Lamont Carey. And it's going to start being on my public page, because this page is complicated at times. And my public page is facebook.com, Mr. Lamont Carey. Wait, how the soccer business going? Hit me up so I can learn about that, brother. Lady Di said, I appreciate you. I appreciate you too, love. Renato said, now you talking real money. Our money. Yes, sir, Renato. So, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, again, stay wonderful. Stay focused. Love yourself inside and out. And let's build each other up. Talk to you later. Bye.